Hi everyone, Dr. Tochi here. Yes, yes, yes. I know I'm looking all powdered up, but it's all for good reason. Um, just been involved in rituals yesterday and today. Just a lot of screaming, had some drama. My God, I'm going to tell the story of the drama to the member class. And members, when I tell you the drama that we got into trying to do rituals today, y'all are gonna find it funny. I swear to God, y'all are gonna find it funny. Y'all are gonna find it funny. It was like, and it was uncalled for drama. But, I'm coming away with lessons from this whole thing. As a spiritual practitioner, there are sometimes things do not go the way that you had planned for or the way that you had hoped for. And you have to somehow persevere through all of that and make things happen. You just got to persevere to get to some kind of outcome. The other thing I learned from today is that spirit can strongly signal if someone has been called to spiritual practice or not. They can strongly signal. And if someone has been called to spiritual practice, things will go smoothly. They will make space for you to do what you need to do, especially if you need to get your rituals on. But if a person has not been called to spiritual practice, or if there's a problem with the call, there will be drama. And it will be drama that don't make no kind of sense. I got to the point where I was yelling at folks, y'all are my last Christian nerve. And y'all know I'm not Christian, so you know. For me to say that, then I was running on fumes. At this point I was like just running on fumes and just trying to hold myself together. And sometimes folks are thinking this one would be screaming for no damn reason. But when they get involved in the drama, they too be screaming. People were screaming inside their heads, which is worse than screaming out loud. You know what I mean? Screaming inside your head is a lot worse. So I was screaming out aloud, but folks were screaming inside their head. Folks were like dizzy. It was just like a whole bunch of effery going on, okay? But somehow you got to work your way through that. And somehow, like, after all the screaming and carrying on, and I swear to gods, and whatnot, you just have to find a way to, make things happen so that you can go about the rest of your day, go about the rest of your business. But like I said, it was a big lesson for me, that there are times the spirit can be very clear. And we are out here doing what we want to do, but spirit can be very clear. You're not supposed to be doing this, or you're wasting your time doing that, or you're not authorized to do this or authorized to do that. Okay? And we need to be paying attention to that to lower our stress levels. I will be somewhat partying tonight. I'm going to be hanging out with my cousins. And I still have a whole bunch more rituals to do. Some rituals I was supposed to do I couldn't do because of the effery that was going on earlier. But everything's going to get done. One way or another, everything is going to get done. Everything is going to get done. Okay. The important thing is, but I was heartened by some things. Someone who got recently initiated as a spiritual practitioner of the water element stepped up to the plate today, and it was so comforting that this person tried their best, and their best was beautiful. because they were putting their heart into it. So it was beautiful. And sometimes it's not so much the perfect words and the perfect actions, but it's the heart, bringing the heart to the table is what's important. Bringing our authentic selves to the table. That's what, because even though this person wasn't even, you know, invoking in English or praying in English, but the fact that it was flowing from the heart made it so beautiful and so potent. And I love to see that, and I love to see more of that. So, folks, just lessons learned all around. Just lessons learned all around. And I like to deliver. If someone says, "Hey, Dr. Tochi, do this for me or help me do this and that," I like to deliver. But I also learned that there are sometimes, despite my best efforts at delivering, if it's not in alignment, if it's not sanctioned, if it's not what needs to happen, that even I will be blocked. Even I will be blocked despite my best intentions, despite my expertise, despite my knowledge, I will be blocked. And I have to be able to accept that, accept what I'm looking at and accept what I'm seeing and act accordingly. So that's that. How's your weekend going? Remember, again, if you need to book me for your divinations, your consultations, spiritual counseling, dream interpretation, spiritual practice coaching, you can always go to my website at drtochi.com or tochi.us, okay, to get what you need. So in the meantime, we continue. We do what we do. We fulfill our destiny. So don't give up. Try your best. Bring your authentic self to the table, and everything will work out. Believe you me, everything will work out. Remember to make money in all you're getting. Get wealth, because wisdom without wealth is just motivational speaking.